Hello, everyone. Welcome to Movies in the Man Cave. We've got a top 5 list for you today, if you couldn't tell from our super sweet intro. Uh, I saw a preview for the movie coming out, Dark Shadows, which is a Tim Burton film with Johnny Depp about a guy who gets turned into a vampire.
Wait, Johnny Depp's in?
And it's shocking.
Oh.
I bet Helena Bonham Carter makes an appearance. And I'm like, oh, Tim Burton. I like Tim Burton. We should do a top 5 list.
Yep.
And then he's also got Frankenweenie coming out in the next year. And he's got Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yes,
He worked
that's
on that as well. So he's got a lot of movies coming out. So I thought it'd be a good time to do top 5 Tim Burton. So this includes if he was a producer, a director, a writer, because he has different functions on different
if he
movies.
even looked at the movie.
Yeah,
So
we'll consider it. So do you want to go first?
I'm gonna let you go first,
All
just
right.
because when we made the clarification of producer, director, writer, it threw all kinds of wrenches into every kind of gear.
Wrenches
So.
everywhere. Okay. I will start with my number 5.
Okay.
Shocking that it's so low is Nightmare Before Christmas. I was going through and I'm like, I thought that would be top 2 or 3, and then I was just going through and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's got to be number 5. It's a great movie, but it's not as good as his other ones. I took a step back, and it's a great Halloween movie.
Yes.
But when you stack it up against normal movies of an excellent caliber, I don't think it holds up as well. I just realized that I really love the Pumpkin King song. And
Yep.
like everything else is pretty good after that, but that's my favorite part is right away at the beginning, the first 3 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really like that movie, and I'm surprised it was number 5.
Yeah. I agree. That it didn't even make my list.
Really?
And it's crazy with what he's done with all these different movies. So bizarre. My number 5 ended up being Planet of the Apes with
Okay.
Marky Mark. And it's weird in this context, like that's above Nightmare Before Christmas, but like you said, that's a good Halloween movie. And I don't know, at times like I don't even really want to watch Nightmare Before Christmas, but with Planet of the Apes, I'm like, if it's on TV or if I'll just watch it. Not the best movie out there, but as far as like the makeup in that movie, the special effects, everything like that, it was
Very
really,
good.
really,
Very
really cool. And it's got Marky Mark in it. Come on. Also, Paul Giamatti's in there playing a big fat orangutan thing. Yeah, the only thing with that movie was the ending.
It ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely ruined it. I like that
It
movie
was like
pretty
up until
good,
the last
but I
30
mean, it left
seconds.
such a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't watch it again for years.
Yeah.
Years.
But I don't know. I saw it in the theater. I really liked it. Even with the ending, it was just like, but
Yeah.
I mean,
It's growing on you.
yeah. I do enjoy it.
Okay, my number 4, and again, it surprises me that it's so low on my list, is Edward Scissorhands. It's a really good movie. Johnny Depp, obviously.
Yep.
Great story. It's sweet. It's sad. It's just the Tim Burton style. I mean, that is the epitome, I think, of the Tim Burton style. It's kind of creepy and cool.
Very gothic.
Yeah, but futuristic gothic, but not really.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
But it's just such a good story, and it's just one that's it's a great movie. I don't know what else to say about it. It's tough to describe.
Yeah. I'm kind of hit and miss with that movie. Like, I enjoy it. I like it. But I don't know.
The one thing that brought it down for me was I thought it was a little slow at times,
And that's
which
I
is
think
why it's
what I
not up
was-
on my list, because I think it has some slow parts in it.
Yeah, and that's when I was thinking about the list, and and that one came up, and that's what deterred me from it too. Is I was just like, well, it's got this scene and that scene, but kind of the in betweens is kind of whatever. But my number 4 is full of awesomeness. Sleepy Hollow,
Yeah,
Johnny Depp,
of course.
and what makes it for me, Christopher Walken.
Yeah. It's
Can't go wrong
that's a
with the
nice-
Walken.
I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think I also saw that one in the theater. But yeah, just Tale of Headless Horseman done a la Tim Burton, super creepy, very dark. Like not necessarily dark like grim, but dark as in like it's almost black and white.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a really well done movie, and I really enjoy it.
I love this, Headless Horseman story
Yep,
to begin
Ichabod
with,
Crane,
so then to
yep.
be turned into a good movie is a double bonus.
Yep.
My number 3 is Beetlejuice. Nothing.
No more.
Michael Keaton. This is one of his older ones for Tim Burton. This probably came out early 90s. I want to say.
Yeah, it's either like 90 or 89 or something like that.
It again uses Tim Burton's creepy style, but in a fun, colorful way.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton in that movie is perfect.
It's crazy.
I know they've talked about doing a sequel or something at this point. And
Yeah.
if they don't have Michael Keaton,
I think
it would just be
he said that he would be down. So.
And all Alec Baldwin's in that movie,
Yep.
and
Gina
it's just
Davis.
so fun and creative, and I don't know, it takes Haunted House to like a whole different realm.
Yeah, totally. And like everything with the model, like the model of the city up in the attic or whatever for that movie. Like I love every scene with that. You know, I mean, obviously it's where Beetlejuice starts out, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good movie.
It is good. My number 3.
My number 3 surprised me when I looked up Tim Burton, and I was very, I guess not really surprised because of the things in the movie, but Cabin Boy.
As soon as I saw that was a Tim Burton, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be on Jared's list.
It's gotta be on my list, and I didn't know.
I had no idea either. I had no idea,
but
either.
It makes sense
when you like the ship that moves and some of the other creatures. Yeah,
Sharky and the giant. Like, I mean, it makes sense once you see it, but God, I don't know why, but I love Cabin Boy. I love that movie. Chris Elliott he plays the perfect idiot, like the perfect idiot. It's got Dave Letterman in it, and my favorite line, of course, is "I'm a fancy lad."
Of course.
Why wouldn't that be? Yeah, you've seen that, right?
I have seen it. I have it. It has like no redeeming qualities at all, but it's good.
It's got a ton of redeeming qualities.
I don't know that it does.
I don't know that it does either, but it's just one of those movies. Like, I can't get enough of it. I can't.
And again, you know, thinking back to it, it's been a little while, but yeah, all the Tim Burton elements are there.
Yep.
You know, it's got creatures and monsters and cool effects. And
yeah.
Good
times.
My number 2 is a more serious movie. And it's Batman, 1989 Batman.
Yep.
Michael Keaton again. I guess that was his molder before Johnny Depp came along. Was Michael Keaton? Huh? You know, it's in my opinion what started superhero movies being good.
Yes.
You know, it went downhill after a while, but I think that showed that you could do a good, serious superhero movie. And Batman's a very serious character.
Yep.
You know, and Tim Burton brings in his dark elements to it. And with Jack Nicholson as the Joker, who was obviously awesome. You never think you'd be able to top that before Heath Ledger came along.
Right.
You know, and it just tells the dark story of his parents dying and the growth into Batman. And I don't know. Gotham City in that one's really fun.
It is, and it took. And I'm just gonna keep talking. That's my number 2 as well.
Nice.
So, the Gotham City in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, they got too bright and neon-y and crazy. But Batman and Batman Returns, Gotham City was amazing, and the Batmobile in those movies.
Yeah. Yep.
That was awesome. Like the new Batmobile is cool,
but it's not the Batmobile.
But it's not the Batmobile.
Yeah.
It's like it's a military thing. Like the Batmobile.
I agree.
It's so sweet in those movies.
We used to like build model cars and stuff when you were kids. I had a Batmobile one that I put together, and
What wasn't the little front nub thing like a missile or something?
He drops like a bomb. Yeah, like drops a bomb, and then it had the Batplane also. I mean that iconic shot where he flies up
over the moon,
and he's got the symbol there, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like you were saying too, just it's got the Tim Burton feel to it with the dark. And I guess another thing that I haven't really mentioned in any of these is pretty much if it's Tim Burton, Danny Elfman is doing the soundtrack.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And Danny Elfman, I mean, that Batman theme song and everything, that to me, like, that's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awesome.
Agreed. Yeah, good point with Danny Elfman. Yeah. They work together all the time. My number 1, and I have a feeling it might be your number 1, is Big Fish.
It is my number 1.
All right, we can just talk together then.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one I think of necessarily as Tim Burton because it's not quite as dark.
But it's crazy whimsical and magical.
Absolutely.
And
like, it takes all the things of your imagination. Like, if you're making an imaginary town, all these weird things would be in there. Like, and from all the different characters, the part that he plays in the circus obviously is a big part of that. But you get giants, you get the Siamese twins, you get Danny DeVito as a werewolf. Just all bizarre characters that Tim Burton is so good with.
And Steve Buscemi as the nut job.
The porch guy.
Yeah,
The
go
poet or something. He never finishes his poems.
Northa Winslow, that's his name.
I have no idea.
He writes that poem that's just awful.
It's a good date movie. And, you know, it's something that you can watch with a girlfriend and you're
Yep.
both going to enjoy.
Yep.
Unlike Cabin Boy, probably.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you know, it's got sweetness, you know, there's a love story in there
Yep.
and family issues.
Yeah, and it's just really cool too because you know, like, Ewan McGregor plays the dad, but like when the dad's all grown up, that whole story is really like kind of gets you. It gets you
Yeah.
choked up, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, like you never really think about all the crazy stories that you were told as a kid. Like, what if they were true? Maybe they were. Maybe you know, like I don't know. It's a cool movie, and then the fact that Tim Burton's in it makes it all fun and crazy.
I also really like Ewan McGregor. Like, that might be
Dude,
the first
yeah.
movie where I kind of figure out who he was, and I really,
Yeah, he's good in that.
yeah. Let's move on to a quote from last week, shall
Yes,
we? You said we got a winner on
We did.
Facebook.
Brianna Ehrenberg was kind enough to hit us up with a quote.
Many thank yous. Congratulations. Let's check it out.
Look, lady, I only speak 2 languages, English and bad English.
What?
Huh?
Bruce Willis?
No.
We used Bruce Willis for something? I don't believe
We
it.
did. Brianna also mentioned that she loves Mila Jovovich's
Y'all,
hair.
you
She likes her orange hair in that movie, and I said that we like mostly everything she does in that movie.
True.
So,
Love that movie. It's Fifth Element, if you couldn't tell
Yes.
from the clip. That is the Fifth Element. Awesome. Great
it is.
sci-fi future movie.
I need to watch it again. It's been a while.
Terrific. Why
No.
did we... Oh, it was just a general quote. 'Cause
Yep.
we had a... Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this week's quote.
Okay.
It is... You got it?
I have it.
Go to town. I didn't
have
write
it.
it down.
Oh well, nothing goes better with cabbage than cabbage.
Isn't that the truth?
It is. Like, whenever I'm having cabbage, I'm like, dang, I wish I had cabbage to go with this.
I mean, it's appropriate, too, with St. Patrick's Day being,
Mhm.
2 weeks ago?
I know, I really wish that we would have, instead of having corned beef and cabbage, we just had cabbage.
And cabbage. Have you ever had cabbage pudding, then, for dessert after a cabbage meal? Oh. So
Don't-
good.
Don't even.
All right. That's enough of that
Yeah, enough cabbage.
tomfoolery-ishness. Movies coming out this week. We got Wrath of the Titans.
Okay.
Have you seen Clash of the Titans yet?
I haven't, but I really want to see both now.
Clash of the Titans is a passable movie. Like,
Okay.
it entertains you for 2 hours, but it's nothing special. Wrath of the Titans, I think, looks way better. The monsters in those previews,
Yeah.
the big lava monster, man, looks choice. Amazing.
Choice. That's a good word.
Bring it
Choice.
back from the late 90s. I don't know. The preview makes it look really awesome.
It does.
That two-sided monster that's... I don't know. It
Yeah.
looks really cool. Good action. I'm hoping it's better than the first one because the first one was just okay.
Just all right. All right.
We got Mirror, Mirror.
My wife wants to see that like crazy.
Really?
Like she wants me to take her to the theater to see it.
This is Julia Roberts in a Snow White.
Yep. The year's
Story.
first adaptation. I believe.
Yeah, it's one of those things that two movies kind of get made at the same time. Snow White and the Huntsman, which is coming out later, looks way better to me.
It
It's
does.
darker and more action. This one looks like kind of a light comedy
Yeah. It looks like
version.
Yeah, it looks like a Disney version.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But real life.
Yeah, I don't think it looks terrible. But between the two, I'd go with the Huntsman.
Absolutely. That's this week's episode.
Yeah.
You could be so kind to join us this weekend for a mini episode.
If you want,
We'd appreciate it.
we'll be here.
You know, we love to hang out with you guys. So look for that. And then we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Sounds like a Danny Elfman song.
I was just going to say, we need a Danny Elfman song to finish the show.
That's all I got.
How's the Batman song go? Bum, bum.
But
then it gets faster.